Hello everyone and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires. Today, 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a Hun war as Hera, playing as the Huns in blue, prepares to take on Gabi, playing as you got it, the Huns, there you go, in red. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the one and only civilization that we will be watching today. Now, the Huns, don't be fooled by the scout who was doing nothing for a second. They are a civilization designed to take the fight to its enemy with speed and mobility. Their cavalry archers get progressively cheaper as the game goes on, 10% cheaper in Castle, 20% cheaper in Imperial. Their trebuchets fire more accurately at units, and their stables work 20% faster than normal, which is great because you can, as the Huns, upgrade your stables to train your unique unit, the Tarkin. This is a medium cavalry unit with a high amount of pierce armor and an attack bonus against buildings that makes it absolutely disastrous for enemy structures and amazing for late game raiding. Now, to support its military, the Huns don't actually require houses. Notice there's not a single house on the map, because if you take a look at the top left, top right of your screen, you'll notice the Huns start with 200 population space already available, which does free up both a bit of wood and villager construction time during those precious early minutes of the game. But of course, because nothing is free in Age of Empires, this feature does come at the cost of 100 wood right in the beginning. So that is the civilization we've got before us today. I am incredibly excited to cast this game. Now, you might be looking at the Elos at the top of your screen, seeing Hera at 2928, seeing Gabi at 2353, and saying, wait a second, why the hell is Isaac casting a game where there's almost 600 Elo difference? That is because if you are not familiar with Gabi, a player from Brazil, then I have very high expectations. She is just an absolute amazing player. I believe she took second place in the Queen's Clash Gold League, the 2024, this year's Queen's Clash. I don't know. I think it was the third Queen's Clash. She is a hyper aggressive, micro intensive beast of a player. And so I want to see how well she does taking on Hera. On the other hand, you have Hera, who's at 29-28. So even if he wins this game, I don't even think he'll get even one Elo point. He may just get one Elo point just because the system, I think, needs to reward you. But for example, if he loses this matchup, he is going to lose, I dare say, 30 to 40 Elo points. So huge risk here for Hera taking on a mirror matchup, but also a huge opportunity for Gabi, who, like I said, incredibly aggressive, very micro-oriented, super fun player to watch. I've seen a lot of her games on Twitch. If you're not familiar with her, again, check her out on Twitch. She live streams lots of gameplay against players like Survivalist and Lucho, and a lot of similarly eloed players. But I'm going to stop talking up the match. I really am hoping that this is going to be an absolute banger of a game, and with two players playing the Huns at the same time, I mean, should be pretty damn fun. Hera spawning at the 9 o'clock position, of course, assumes that his opponent is perhaps at the 3 o'clock position, although maybe not. Never mind. He is, forget exploring his opponent. He is currently still pushing his Gazelle. So not a bad time for us to actually look at the attack path between the two players. Despite a few forests flanking the attack path, it is a pretty simple A to B. Few hills in the middle, few forests. Let's take a look as Hera gets loom as Gabi goes up to feudal with one less villager than her opponent. At the actual location of resources, Hera's primary gold, primary stone, both in the forward position, both exposed. Not great locations. Secondary gold, tertiary gold kind of to the rear, so a little bit better. And secondary stone very far to the northeast of the base forests. In the forward position, not terrible, providing a little bit of coverage. Man, he's having a bit of trouble with his Gazelle. I'm seeing a lot of weird pathing, or maybe he's just toying with the Gazelle, keeping it around while he can finish gathering the meat from the Gazelle's brother or sister there. He's also got a little bit of a forest to the rear and a big old chunky forest here to the back as well. So for a civilization that likes to play Cav Archers, having lots and lots of wood around is a fantastic thing. And Gabi, already at the 8-minute mark, 20 seconds away from feudal, has discovered where Hera is. Her base, primary gold off to the side, primary stone exposed, but both her secondary and tertiary gold very annoyingly placed in the forward position. Extra stone, kind of off campus, but a pretty safe location. Not terrible. Her forest's not very helpful in terms of wall off, but like Hera does have a bit of a forest in the rear position as well. Both players are now in feudal. Will Hera now finally go out onto the map and explore? Why is he exploring this corner of the map here? In any event, Gabi has seen enough, or maybe she's going to keep looking. She's seen the barracks. She's seen the gold. She will come across the stone as well. Okay, so she knows where the primary resources are, Hera. Let's see if I was right about him going to the 3 o'clock position. It kind of seems like he is, right? Kind of going in this general direction. And Gabi doesn't have any infrastructure here, so Hera might run right by this. Oh, and he misses the 4 patches of stone. So he is, in fact, assuming that this game makes sense in terms of where players start their spawning positions. And now he's gone completely the wrong way. Has our Hun in blue as Gabi closes in on his base with no fewer than 2 1/3 scout. Where are you? There you are in the bottom of the screen. But as we saw, Hera already has loom. And these are scouts without bloodlines. Hera, both his scouts explored the north, seeing absolutely nothing. Must assume that his opponent is to the south. A 4th scout coming from our Hun in red. But the inherent limitations of a melee unit in the Feudal Age means that these villagers are nice and safe. There's not much that these scouts are going to be able to do unless she decides to dive bomb into one spearman, risk the life of a scout. Maybe she's waiting for the 5th scout. Hera will now, there we go, discovers finally at the 11.5 minute mark. So like I said, I always say Hera is one of the best, if not the best, early game scouters there is. Oh, and he's trying to trap, but he fails. I said I have high expectations for this game, and so far, I mean, Gabi discovered Hera's base 3.5 minutes before he discovered hers. Whether or not that's because she was more actively pursuing the location of the base or not, doesn't really matter. She does get the first kill of the game, though, as Hera's scout pokes a little bit too close to the lemon bushes, gets gotten by the spearman, and now he finds himself with his spearman out of position as no fewer than 6 red scouts appear. I think she can take this fight. Oh, but look at this one villager. 10 HP left. Another red scout making its way across the map, but Hera, he's not done himself. He knows where the base is. Let's see if he decides to commit with these 3 scouts. He's trained another one. He's got 2 spearmen still patrolling. Woodlines have been secured with palisades. Ooh, but now Gabi loses a unit, but manages to get a villager. There's that blood. Oh my goodness. So first villager kill of the game going to Gabi, but not a free get as she loses a scout. Now Hera using 2 scouts chases away 1 scout. She's also walled in her woodline. Unlike Hera, it looks like she's only got 1 woodline for the moment. So both players really attacking into one another very early on. I hope I will be able to catch all the action with picture-in-picture. Ooh, not reacting too fast. Villager does take a bit of damage. But I feel like that villager took damage, but now I don't see where's the damaged villager? What am I missing? Was it a different villager? Why do I feel like the scouts attacked this one, but she still has 40 out of 40 HP? My goodness. Sometimes when I watch this game and I feel like I missed something, it really calls into question whether or not I should get some glasses. This guy does take a bit of damage. Or I should say get thicker glasses. I do have driving glasses, which don't really apply in this case. Not too sure why I'm sharing that, in case anybody cares. Gabi is up to 10, 11 scouts. Hera's going up to 9, 10 himself. He's adding in some archer units. He does have 10 villagers on wood to her 9, but fewer villagers on food. And Hera is getting bloodlines first. We'll see how soon after Gabi notices the bloodlines on his scout that she gets bloodlines as well. I'm assuming with such a heavy commitment into Feudal Age scout play that we will see bloodlines out of her as well. For now, she is just getting scale barding armor. So we're committing to Feudal Age. The Huns, aside from their stable working 20% faster, not too sure they get anything really in the Feudal Age. They're more of a Castle Imperial Age civilization, what with the cheaper cav archers and the trebuchets and the Tarkins. At the same time, no wonder she's keeping Hera to the back of his base. She's trying to get something done here. Gets another villager kill, but loses 2 scouts for it. Wow, okay, that's why I was wondering why she's kind of running around here, not really accomplishing much with her scouts, but that was all possibly a distraction. And like I said, lots and lots of little hills and high ground for the players to take, so it'll be, as always in Feudal Age, a game of micro. And there we go, immediately notices bloodlines, immediately gets bloodlines for herself. 11 scouts to 14. Hera, though, massive army lead. He's going up to 7 archers and 2 spearmen. Gabi spearman number 3, and they are all next to the gold. Ooh, Hera sees, Hera backs away. Again, she is heading to Hera's bases. Hera's heading to hers. Now, this is something I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure. Do towers really scare scout units, or is this tower more to scare away the archers? Spearman does die. Gabi is inside Hera's base as well with her scouts. We'll be looking at that in pictures, seeing how much damage she can get done. Hera now manages to get a whole bunch of villager kills. Now he's running amok. Archers and scouts enter into the minimum range of the tower. No murder holes in Feudal Age. Looks like a bunch of kills here as well. Gabi's up to 5 villager kills. Hera's gotten 3. He is ahead 1 total kill. Another scout, pardon me, bites the dust. And other villagers pop out. Looks like half of them are fighting, half of them are frozen in place. What an absolute jumble of death and destruction here as Gabi brings back her whole expeditionary force. But look at the HP. They're down to 1/3 HP. And look at the kill count. Equal villager kills. She's got 10 more kills than Hera. Absolutely epic play out of both players. They are just tearing into one another. 20 minutes in, we're up to 50 total kills, 12 villager kills. Both players defending their gold, both players walling in, both players trying to get their farming eco up and running. No one is making any attempt to wall off their bases except for Red, who is kind of walling off the south and the west, but not really the north and the east. And this is not walled in either. Well, there you go, Age of Empires, the old optical illusion MC Escher game that it is. This is, by the way, also open, so Hera could have dive bombed into there if he wanted to. Gabi circling the north of Hera's base. So far, 22 minutes in. Hera is getting wheelbarrow and also the armor upgrade for his cavalry units. Gabi also, by the way, has forging in the meantime. What is the speed? 1.55, 1.55. So we've got husbandry for both players. I guess I could have just checked it here. Oh no, pardon me, we don't have husbandry. Why did I think we had husbandry? Oh, maybe because I don't know this game at all. Well, there you go. And here we go. She's going after villager kills. Gets another one. Bloodlines make such a difference. When your unit has 45 HP, it's so risky to engage underneath the town center. But when you've got 65 HP, so much better. So much more incentive to take the risk and just jump underneath the TC there. 7 villager kills to 6. Hera is now in the lead. Total kill difference still about 10. What's the HP on these scouts? Ooh, Hera's are pretty much healthy. Gabi's are pretty much half dead. But she's got more units here, unless I'm mistaken. 13 to 11, 14, 15 to 11, and a spearman moves forward. I think this is the first time. Oh, moonwalking. Look at that spearman. Not only am I moving here to kill you, I'm going to do a little fancy schmancy show-off maneuver and moonwalk to the battle. I was about to say, I think this is the first time Gabi is sending forward spearmen, but she's going to have to deal with Hera's archer count, which is growing steadily up to 15. Hera's gone up to 29 army count to the 22. She is ahead 2 villagers, and her base is now fully walled in, but has not walled in her gold. Like we saw earlier, secondary, tertiary gold off campus, and primary gold, very easily lameable. Not that this is closed at all. Oh no. Oh no. Hera's gonna get some good villager kills here. Already has 1, 2. Is the town center full? It's almost full. And in comes the archer force to kill whatever villagers weren't killed originally. And now he wants to bust into the wood line as well. Looks like on the other side of the map, Gabi is yet again engaging into Hera. They're both sitting at 11 villager kills apiece. Gabi's now ahead 5 villagers. Players are not banking any resources whatsoever. She abandons ship and closes the door behind her. You are not getting out at all. Oh, can you imagine if she would trap Hera here with one palisade? But that is the power of the archer unit. There's not much that a villager can do against this unit. Scouts you can fight. Scouts you can run away from. Archer units are more difficult to fight against for a poor lowly villager. She waited a bit too long to pull these villagers, but there is no ballistics, which means these villagers should be, on the whole, pretty safe. Unfortunately, does lose, looks like 3, 4, possibly 5 villagers. Scout gets surrounded. Archers close in as well. But when Hera's to the south, Gabi's economy is to the north. Operating at full steam ahead. Lumber camp rebuilt. Villagers out there. No way Hera's getting to these villagers, by the way. Unless he decides to bust through the palisade or run back through this opening. So she is safe and sound to get wood over here. But 2 more villagers. I mean, look at the dead bodies just everywhere. The same token, same time, by the way. Sorry, not token. She's engaging here, but now decides to back away. And in the last few minutes, this insertion of archers and scout units into Gabi's base has netted Hera 11 total villager kills, and all of a sudden he's the one who's ahead 6 villagers, and Gabi is returning home with her scouts. Not too sure she even needed to delete this if this is open. Will Hera try to get himself an exit? Will he try to bust his way out of here? Because he is entering into a dead end right now. That being said, army count, he is ahead 35-9. Things were very, very close right up to a few minutes ago when Hera dive bombed into this base and just started killing every frickin' unit he could. Stonewall being built behind this, so you are not getting out of here anytime soon. And now Hera's bringing even more army. Yeah, Gabi has no answer to these archer units. I mean, the total kill count is incredibly similar. 58 to 57. Okay. Hera uncharacteristically carving up his army into 2, which means his scouts do not have archer defense anymore, which means Gabi had an opportunity to pounce, and she did, but Hera is heading up to Castle Age, using all of that aggression on this side of the map to build up his economy at home, killing even more villagers. And unfortunately, I think the writing is on the wall here. 41 army count to 8, 50 villagers to 38. And the hyper aggressiveness of both of these players means that they've been tearing into one another. Unfortunately for Gabi, she was tearing into Hera on the other side of the map when she probably may have been better served defending at home. But now the archers don't have scout support. Beautiful maneuvering out of Gabi. First she caught the scouts without archers. Now she catches the archers without scouts. But oh my goodness, Hera has been not sitting idly by as yet another army group moves forward. A huge amount of archers, 25 archers. He is in Castle Age. Where is the crossbow bodkin? Where is the light cavalry? Where is any kind of upgrade? Town center though. Town center. These are still feudal age units. Town center is wrecking these units. Oh, that was a terrible engagement there for Hera. Look at that absolute bloody mess. But wow, what a fun game. And look at that kill count, identical, 89-89. Like I said, this is an absolute crazy match for Hera, because if he loses an insane amount of elo points. If he wins, I don't even know if he wins 1. Gabi, on the other hand, has a chance to prove her mettle against the game's best player at the moment. And wow, did she go toe-to-toe. Unfortunately, about 6 or 7 minutes ago when Hera busted in through here. Oh, and it's still open. and managed to get all of those villager kills. For a while, they were both sitting at 11 villager kills apiece, but then Hera just shoved in and started wrecking. And unfortunately for Hera, he did carve his army. First, the scouts died over here, then the archers died over here, but I guess he didn't really care because he had another army group moving forward. But to be fair, for a player that has only 2 army count, this is Gabi's entire army, not a bad hold over here. Hera may have overcommitted. Maybe he really anticipated her GGing once he hit Castle Age. That's got to be it, right? Hera's sense of the game is second to none. So he must have known that, hey, I'm going to hit Castle Age. She's going to be firmly ensconced in Feudal, and there's not much she's going to be able to do. So I might as well just take a battle here, but still a lot of dead bodies. Town center, 13 kills. That was a bit of a waste there for Hera, but is it really a waste if he ultimately takes the W? What a really, really fun game, and this would have been a good moment for Gabi to run across the map with a few scouts. Unfortunately, no food, no gold, no Castle Age, and despite the game being so close for 25 minutes, ultimately Hera just absolutely eviscerates the Red Hunnic economy, and she is now down 15 villagers. Hera's ahead 25 villager kills, although again, to be fair, 89 kills apiece against Hera. Again, about 600 elo difference. And this is exactly why I wanted to cast. When I saw Hera playing Gabi, I knew I had to cast this game. I didn't care if it lasted 15 minutes. I didn't care if it lasted an hour and 15 minutes. I knew I had to cast this game. But I think the MVP here for Hera is the archer unit. I suspect scout to scout, they both could have kept lashing at one another indefinitely. It really is the archers that came in and started making a difference. Hera with his usual APM 200 to 300 towards the end. Gabi towards the end as well. The economy can't be that similar. Yeah, not similar at all. All 3 major resources, the 4th one not being mined at all. So just a bit more wood, a bit more food, and a lot more gold. Gabi, unfortunately, betrayed by the location of her resource. The primary gold, again, I question the number one, the just having a tower, and number 2, the location of this tower. Should maybe up here, a few tiles north on here. But she had no gold mining operations. This gold unminable unless you want to risk it against the archers and the cavalry units. And Hera, for his part, despite 2 or 3 attacks into the gold mine, just mining basically unharassed. And wow. Let me know in the comments below, how well do you think Gabi did? Again, like I said, very aggressive player and very micro-intensive player. And she literally went toe-to-toe with Hera for 32 minutes. Although, again, betrayed. Always, it seems to be the gap in the wall. If this was plugged in and Hera was instead attacking the palisades instead of moving into the palisades, would she have so easily given up control of this center portion of her base and let Hera's scouts and archer units run around? Then they ran this way. Then they were kind of hanging around here for a little bit. I love the plugging up with the stone wall. That's fun. Unfortunately for the Huns, they don't get houses, which means they can't use houses as part of the quick wall. But just always seems to be just one little area. Although never mind. She did plug this in with a palisade behind the stable. Fantastic. Let me know what you think. I think Gabi did amazingly well this game. And again, amazing. Good job for her for taking on Hera. Good job for Hera for risking it, because Age of Empires, it's like when you go to court, when they teach you in law school, you go to court, you might think you have the strongest case. You might think you have all the facts supporting you. All the law is on your side. You might think everything is pointing your way. Absolutely nothing is 100%. There's always a small chance something might happen. There's always a small chance you might lose. And Hera risking it for, again, I don't even think he got 1 elo point out of this game. Or at the very least, or at the very most, 1 elo point. So kudos to Hera for putting himself out there. Kudos to Gabi for answering the call and taking on the game's best player. And kudos to her for standing toe to frickin' toe with the game's best player for 32.5 minutes. Unfortunately, her economy just takes way too much of a bruising, way too much of a pounding. Hera gets up to Castle Age, and now he's free to upgrade either one of these units, and it's a death knell for her. Either crossbows or light cavalry, it doesn't really matter. Does he have any archery ranges? Or, who's kidding who, maybe cav archers. it doesn't really matter at all. Either direction that Hera goes, in any direction, it is bad news bears for our Hun in red, who realizes it, taps out, lives to fight another day, took on the challenge, and even though she didn't win, still took on the challenge, which is an absolutely impressive feat. So even though Hera is victorious, truly GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.